This call is from a person currently in a prison in England. All calls are logged and recorded and may be listened to by a member of prison staff. If you do not wish to accept this call, please hang up now.
The 10th of December 2024, HMP Thameside IDTS wing. I woke up still tired, but after my door was unlocked for social, I got clean and ready. I said hello to a few people on the wing, then ate shreddies as Ahmed and I joked about the obliviousness of the prison staff. I was told the website not the staff has any information about how to book visits. It seems none of the prisoners have any visits. On this wing, our solicitors and friends on the outside haven't been able to contact the prison at all, not for visits, or in our solicitor's case to ask why the hell we're even on an IDTS wing and to move us. There's little information about visitations in HMP Thameside. Nothing on the website, and it's virtually impossible to get anybody to pick up a phone if you do call. So we were just laughing at it at this point to save us crying about it. But we also joked about how we're used to all this nonsense by now, especially this wing, proving just how far that we have gone. We've lost the plot ourselves, which I think must be the whole point of us being here. Yeah, getting used to and even content with an IDTS wing is not a good sign. So, somebody asked me why I don't play pool while I was stood around watching. I asked everybody around who's next. Nobody was, so I said I was. When somebody set up the table, I had a queue, and so did my opponent. Then somebody opened their hand to take the queue off me, telling me that they're next. I told them, no, you're not. They got loud, and then they got irate, repeating themselves, saying that they're next. I said, look, 10 minutes ago, I've asked everybody around who's next, and everybody said nobody, so you're after me. They stormed off, banging the triangle that he set the balls up with upon various surfaces, causing the screw to come out of their office, wondering what the banging was, and telling them to stop their tantrum. At my game, I beat my opponent. Then it was me versus the man-child who had stormed off before. He was beating me easily, but then they potted the black on the last pot, causing me to win. They responded to their pot by throwing the cue on the table, storming off yet again, swearing and shouting. I told them, unlucky, you deserve to win, but found it amusing still. I beat my next opponent on a 3-win streak, then on my 4th, and then I stopped what I was writing because I said there's a fire. So at this point there was smoke and the smell of burnt chemicals were visible. Both in my cell and outside, the fire alarm was going off. It was banging, fire, fire, there's a fire. By half of the wing, everybody banging the doors, there's literally smoke everywhere. It fucking stunk. This was the first time I'd opened my fucking window since being there. Screws were piling up on one side of the wing. It's obviously we're all locked in our cells with smoke in our lungs, while the screws are accumulating smoke-proof masks, riot shields, while the hose is spraying inside the cell at the end of the wing. I chime into the orchestra shouts, and I'm like, fucking put it out, stop standing around. And I was calling them cowards because some of them was literally like so scared, like you could see it in the body language, in the face. They didn't know what to do. They were actually terrified. And I was like, am I going to just burn alive in my cell? I was like, what the fuck's going to happen here? I was looking at the wall next to me thinking, how flammable is that wall? And so, yeah, I was telling them to put it out, obviously. Soon after, about 10 minutes, Sideshow Bob, this is a white guy, good friends with the fool next door who got spat on. He was being escorted past my door under arrest. The reason he was called Sideshow Bob is because he looked like Sideshow Bob. He had like the exact same hair as Sideshow Bob, like sort of gingery and like afro-y, but he was a white guy. And everybody just called him Sideshow Bob since he got in, and I think he must have been co-defendant of the fool next door to me, because they were always hanging around together. And they literally was like the first time I'd ever seen both of them together. He said, Sideshow Bob had said to me while he was with his mate next door, he said, yo, give me a cap. I said, why would I give you the cap? And he said, go on. He said he'll suck your dick for a cap. And I said, I'll give him fucking 2 caps to not suck me dick. And then I was thinking, what the fuck is wrong with them fucking weirdos? Oh yeah, but when I said like I'll give him them to not do it, he was like, go with them. And I was like, how can you be so desperate for a cap? You're saying madness, you fucking weirdo. So anyway, Sideshow Bob was being escorted past my door under arrest, presumably for arson, which is a 10-year prison sentence. And while they were getting escorted down the wing under arrest, literally the whole entire wing was shouting, coward, coward, scum, dickhead, like over and over, coward especially. And one lad I saw, they said, you're done for now. As it seemed, Sideshow Bob had owed that lad 4 boxes of caps. That's 12 caps in total. That's why they done that, was their assumption. Because, that's what I heard. There's somebody saying, they've owed blah blah 4 boxes, that's why they've done that. I also heard that they tried to kill him. I'm not sure if they had the pad mate or what their actual motive was. But one thing's for certain, The Simpsons predicted it. Sideshow Bob does set fires. So yeah, that's what happened with Sideshow Bob. The previous few days I'd just been saying to everybody, give me some caps, this is again the tops of vapes, the smoke vapes. He said, give me some caps, I'll pay you back when I get canteen. And I presumed that when somebody had walked past me, said, my pad saying, they owe me a cap, and then they'd walk back saying, yeah, I've just smacked them. I think that was Sideshow Bob who they were talking about. So Sideshow Bob owed literally multiple people on the wing caps, and then when canteen come, they never even had enough to pay everybody back. So they've set fire to their own cell so that they'd be moved off the wing, and then that's why people were calling them cowards, because they couldn't just take being hit by everybody. But what's more peculiar is like they done all of that for caps, and then now they're on the block under arrest probably for arson, where they can't smoke caps anyway because they're on the block. So it's like, what goes through people's minds? Anyway, 4 firefighters came within 20 minutes of it all. I clapped out of my cell observation hatch as they went past. 2 seemed absolutely chuffed by my applause. The fire was out by this point. I think that they were there for procedure, which included determining the source of the fire. Unless there's a freak electrical fire from the plugs, which is probably unheard of, the fire must have been started intentionally. I wonder if they were the same person who got a slap the other day for owing somebody else caps, as both instances were in the same direction. Literally, vapes do nothing. They give no high. They're not even addictive, really. If I don't have the vapes or caps, then I don't think about them. Surely they're not worth 10 years in prison for arson. In fact, that's not even a question. I'm sure of it. Maybe it's the MTs, which is used for smoking spice, that people want more. Yeah, so MTs, or the vape's cap, once it's being depleted of vape fluid, and then people smoke spice with the MTs, so maybe they're more valuable MT than with vape fluid. I don't know. Anywho, with the extractors on and my window open for the first time fully since being here, I felt I deserved a break. So I'm having a Kit Kat. Not to promote Nestle, as they are evil, but there is no ethical consumption under capitalism, especially when you're a fucking prisoner. You're being moved to J-Uppers. I looked up at my hatch as it was still closed. I was hoping at this point it was the lad next door and not me. It was the lad next door. When the worker passed next, I asked him if I could have next door's kettle. I'd been here a week and a half longer than the lad next door anyway. I wanted next door to hear the delight in my voice when I asked for their kettle as well. Them and Sideshow Bob with a click. They actually both looked seedy and had a superiority attitude on the wing. In their pad of a night, they would bang for hours, I think to disturb me or because they could faintly hear me TV, which is unavoidable in prison because the walls are quite thin, especially in private prisons, which are effectively new builds. But I'd never take the piss with the volume of my telly anyway. Knowing that they were going, I was welcoming a peaceful night without banging and hot water, hot water, hot water as the morning fucking rooster. I think that they were moved as a direct consequence of their relationship with Sideshow Bob for their safety. Now that they're banged up for 23 hours a day, no social on another wing. He's took the kettle with him, the little rat, fuming. Not a lot happened after this. So yeah, he managed to smuggle his kettle in between all his clothes when he was getting moved off the wing in his carrier bag. So he took his kettle with him. I was so convinced that I was going to get a kettle and I could make cups of teas and do me soups that were piling up. And he took it with him, just one, because he must have heard me say, "Let me get his kettle," and he's gone. And he thought, "Nah, fuck it, I'm going to take it." I was fuming. Not a lot happened after this. I watched Star Trek and went to sleep with a migraine. I had a post-apocalyptic dream where the world ended as we know it, and I survived with a group of people, and our survival was a video game that I was playing/living in with an actual incredible soundtrack and game mechanics. I woke up thinking, wow, that would make an amazing video game. The music soundtrack that I was in my dream. I was even acknowledging how good it was. I could hear it for a little bit after I woke up, but then it went. But like, I genuinely feel like I'd created, at least in my sleep, one of the most amazing ambient music tracks ever. But then it just vanished, and as if it just never ever happened, vanished from my memory.
Thank you for tuning in to Diary of a Political Prisoner. What was a short list for you was a period of time in prison for me. So please make sure that you subscribe on whatever podcast player you're listening on to be notified of future episodes. Each episode was recorded in a prison cell as I'm held on remand for allegedly being involved in a Palestine action to disrupt and destroy weapons in a genocidal Israeli arms factory under Section 5 of the Terrorism Act. My diary is a podcast only to give you something in the hope that you can give help and support to my mum and son, which I can't do by any other means from prison. In supporting them, for £5 a month, you can get a week's worth of episodes in advance every Monday. For £10 a month, you'll get the week's worth of episodes. Plus, I'll respond to any question you have in a monthly question and answer episode on my Patreon at patreon.com/politicalprisonerpod. For £25 a month or humanitarian aid tier, you get all of the above while knowing my little boy is supported and happy. One-time donations can be made by emailing or messaging my producer on social media. Media/collaboration inquiries are on the same line as senders and inbox. If you can't support me family in my absence, please follow the podcast on Instagram if you're going to be listening. Please follow on Twitter, all of our socials. Our handle is Diary Pol Prisoner. Please share them and this podcast with your friends. It's free to do and it helps this project grow. You can also send me a prisoner email or letters, drawings, anything like that. Links to everything mentioned can be found in the podcast description below. Thank you, love and solidarity.